First 5 minutes or so, I do just want to talk about our appeals process, what it takes to get an appeal, and really what it means for our system. Now, if we're talking about our appeal process, there is one thing you need to prove to qualify that you get an appeal. And that one thing that you need to prove is simply that something in your criminal process was not done exactly the way it's supposed to be. There was some small, insignificant error that took place anywhere along the due process line. What that means is anywhere from when you are accused, to arrested, to arraigned, to convicted, anywhere in that process, if one thing goes wrong, you get to file an appeal. Now, I want to use some examples that are kind of on both ends of the spectrum here. So let me ask you this. Let's just say that somewhere along your criminal process, the court denied you a lawyer. Is that grounds to get an appeal? Oh yeah, that's big. If you find yourself in a situation where they deny you a lawyer, that's huge. They're never going to get away with it. What about something as small and insignificant as they put the wrong dates as to when this took place? Is that a problem in your process? Sure. It can be that small. If you have anything go wrong, you can file an appeal. So I want to ask, can basically anyone get an appeal? Basically, yes. Now, if you're going to file for an appeal, though, you're basically doing your criminal process over. You're going to court again. So if you're going to go to court again, you got to pay your lawyers again. If you have the money, you can appeal and appeal and appeal and appeal your decision as many times as you want, really. But it's a matter of can you go through the process again. Now, I do want to kind of emphasize a few things here. Our appeals courts are going to be different from the original courts, the original jurisdiction courts that hear the case first. These courts aren't necessarily focused on what are the laws, what is the evidence. They don't have the lawyers in there. They don't really care. They're above that. They focus on the process. Were your rights violated? Did you have something go wrong within the system? Now, also, something that's kind of different about these courts is there's no real jury that's involved with this. They're not bringing in the 12 people to hear the case. These cases are heard by a panel of 3 judges. Now, let me kind of ask this. Why is it nice and convenient to have 3 of them, do you think? What's the rule on their decision making? What do you think? Majority wins. If you get 2 out of 3 of those judges that say you had a problem within your due process, you can go free. All it takes is 2 out of 3 judges. Now again, no jury, they're doing other things. They're in the criminal process. These courts have what's called the appellate jurisdiction. Now I just want to kind of compare and contrast appellate jurisdiction to original jurisdiction. Appellate jurisdiction simply means they hear the appeal. They do not hear the original case. That's for the first court to decide. They only get to hear the appeal, and they're the ones focused on process. Not facts, not evidence, nothing like that. They just want legal process. At the federal level, we have 12 appellate courts, or what's called the 12 circuit courts. So if you're appealing a decision made by federal courts, you're going to find yourself in one of these 12. Now, I just want to show you something here real quickly so you can just kind of get a visual about where these courts are. These are our 12 circuits. Which one is Colorado in? 10. We're in the 10th circuit. We combine with Wyoming, Utah, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Kansas. We make the 10th circuit. So being in Colorado, if you're charged with a federal crime, you're convicted and you say, I did not do that because there was a problem in my case. You appeal it, it's the 10th Circuit Court that's going to hear your case. Now, fortunately for us, 10th Circuit Court is right in Denver. If you have any kind of other federal crimes charged in these other states, you got to come to Denver for your appeal. Now, here's the thing. This is really all I need to cover to wrap up appeals here. Now, I do want to ask, though, because I know this is different from original jurisdiction. We okay with this stuff? We good? Good news. Done with notes. You can put your notebooks away. What we're going to do today is we're again going to build upon the roles of judges and juries. Today, what we're going to look at is going to be how we even find ourselves picking who the jury is going to be. Now, I told you guys before about my little experience being on the jury, about how to start my day, I was one of like 300 people. Yes, we'll get that. Then I got whittled down to like 30 people. And from those 30 people, we had to get down to a jury at 12. Now, I kind of forget. I think I had time to tell you guys. Did I tell you about how the lawyer that was asking me questions asked me about my profession and what I taught? Did I tell you guys that story? Yeah. She goes, oh, you teach history and government? Yeah, you're on this jury. So I never knew what that revealed about me. I don't know what she was looking for, but she was looking for some kind of traits in her jurors because she picked me basically immediately. Now, the way that our system works is both attorneys are going to kind of play this little game to determine who's on the jury and who's not. Now, before I really get too far, I want to ask you a question, and this is like real basic and like real broad. If you're a defense attorney and you're picking out who your jurors are going to be, what's kind of the underlying thing you want from your jurors? If you're a defense attorney, what are you looking for? Oh, mercy. What's your goal if you're a defense attorney? I hope none of you are my defense attorneys. What is it? Lily, what is it? Sure. You want the jury to say this person's not guilty. So let's play the other side. Prosecution, what do you want? Guilty. So you're looking for people who are going to be sympathetic to your side. Now, there are all sorts of things that you might be interested in, but you don't really know who these potential jurors are. You get a small snapshot as to who they might be, and you're hoping you pick the right people, because picking a jury is probably the most important step in determining either guilty or not guilty. Now, like I told you guys, I don't know what this attorney was looking for in me. I don't know why she picked me. But there are several things that these lawyers look for to say, maybe I can get some further information on these people. I've given you 9 things that lawyers look for when they're trying to pick someone to be on their jury. Now, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. First up, for these 9, I need you just to skim through them. Skimming through is fine, but as you're going through, what I need you to do is I need you to rank what you think is most important. Number 1, second most, third, fourth, fifth, all the way down to number 9. Now, for our purposes here, you can do it just real informally. You can just put it in the margin, at the bottom, just wherever you have space. I just want you to put what you think is number 1, number 2, number 3, all the way down to 9. Take just a few minutes just to skim through. You can rank as you go if you want. We'll come back there in just a few minutes. We'll talk about the next step.